Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Marissa, the Filipino wife in America. Previously, I have made a lot of videos regarding annulment, and until now, I still get a lot of questions about how my annulment got possible in 4 months. I had it so fast. It is very possible because I had it myself. My annulment was done in 4 months. The question I got lately is how to process the annulment. Now, I am going to answer that question, how to process the annulment. These are the following papers you need to have in order to start the process of your annulment. The first thing is you need to have your marriage certificate or marriage contract. That marriage contract or marriage certificate should be the latest one from the Philippine Statistics Authority. You should be able to have that new and authenticated copy of your marriage certificate or your marriage contract from the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA. That's the first thing you need to get. Number two, you need to have your birth certificate copy. That birth certificate should also be coming from the Philippine Statistics Authority, the latest one. If you have kids who are below 18 years old, you should be able to include their birth certificates too, which are all coming from the Philippine Statistics Authority, the latest two. That is number three. Number four is your latest identification card. Why does the lawyer need your identification card? Because it shows there your complete name, which should match with your marriage certificate. So your marriage certificate, your birth certificate, at the same time your ID, those three paperwork should be consistent. Because if there's one which doesn't match with the rest, there is a big problem. That's why they need to get the ID, the birth certificate, and the marriage certificate in order to see if all the names in the documents are consistent. I know in the Philippines, it is difficult to change names. It is difficult to fix mistakes in names. It takes a lot of money. It is expensive, in other words. Unlike here, doesn't take a lot of dollars to change names. It's not that difficult. If ever there is a mistake in one of the documents you have, you should be able to look at your spelling of your name, your address, the spelling of your first name, the last name, because all of those minor mistakes would affect the process of your annulment. Those are legal documents. There should be no mistakes. Again, any spelling error in first names, last names, or even addresses, that would affect the process. In my case before, I had that minor glitch on my birth certificate, on my address. I was born in the other town. However, the address written on my birth certificate is the different town. I was scared when my husband filed a petition because that might, raise a question. What I did was I got an affidavit of two disinterested persons. I really got it from a lawyer. These are two disinterested persons. These are the people who have known you for a while, who have known your family for before you were born, something like that. They should be somebody who have been your neighbors for quite a while. In that way, they are trustworthy. So in other words, I had those. I had to pay a lawyer for that affidavit of two disinterested persons. And luckily, I wasn't asked about that, but I was ready. If all your documents are correct, if all your documents match, you don't have to worry. And how long is the process? The process doesn't take that long because I had Sharia divorce. Since the process is speedy, it takes more money. Back then, I paid, not me, my husband now paid 170,000 pesos. More or less, it's $3,000 for the annulment to be processed. That's it. So if you have all your documents ready, you are now ready to start the process. How does the process go? You submit the photocopies of these documents. You don't have to submit the original copies. Okay, so if you have other questions, feel free to put your comment down below. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you will be notified when I upload new videos. Thank you for watching. See you on my next video.